Audio Jungle.
Good evening, guys. In the last class, we completed our discussion related to services. So today we are going to talk about forms in the Angular. Today we are going to talk about how to develop forms in the Angular. So developing the form is very common requirement in every web application. Forms development in Angular. Developing forms is very quite common requirement when we go for Angular. Angular supports two types of forms development, guys. In Angular, we can develop two types of forms. First one is template driven forms and the second one is reactive forms. So there are two types of techniques available to develop forms in the Angular. First one is template driven approach and the second one is reactive approach. To develop simple forms, template driven form approach is recommended when you are having a form with a simple fields. Got my point? Simple forms, simple forms. For simple forms development, we will use template driven approach. For simple forms development, we will use template driven approach. With the help of ng model, we are going to use for that. To develop complex forms, to develop complex forms, that means your form is having several fields and there is a complexity in the form development. To develop complex forms, we will use reactive forms approach. We will use reactive forms approach. So it depends upon the requirement. We can go with either template driven form or we can go for reactive form. In the Angular, there are two ways to develop forms. One is template driven approach. Another one is reactive approach. Sir, when to go for template driven approach? If your form is a login form, registration form, simple search form, contact us form, like that. If your form is having simple fields, then it is recommended to go for template driven approach to develop the forms. If your form is having some complexity, then we will go for reactive approach. So today we are going to see how to develop our template driven form and how to submit that form. All right, let's go to our workspace. We are using our workspace to develop Angular applications. We developed 5 applications as of now. Let me open my Visual Studio Code IDE. Let me open Visual Studio Code IDE. In this Visual Studio Code, we are going to create our project. All right, VS Code IDE we are using to develop our front-end applications. Let me open my terminal. I'm opening a terminal. Now here I'm going to use command prompt. Here I'm going to use command prompt. So let me create one new project, ng new app 6. I'm creating one new application. ng new app 6. I'm creating one new project. In this project, I want to develop a form. Would you like to add Angular routing? No, routing is our next concept. Once we are able to develop a form, then we are going to understand what is routing. Let us see. Here, our project is getting created. Project is getting created. Whenever we create the Angular project, by default, app component will be created. App component is called as our parent component. Angular application execution will start from app component only. Yeah, project got created. Let's get into that project directory, app6. Now I am in the app6 directory. So whenever we run, whenever we execute ng saru command, when we execute ng saru command, it is going to run our Angular application in the development server. When you execute ng saru command, it is going to execute our Angular application in the development server. It is running our application. By default, it will run on the port number 4200. It will run on the port number 4200. Fine. It will run on the port number 4200. Still, it is waiting. Let's enter. No. Yeah. It is building our application, guys. Whatever the TypeScript code is available, that TypeScript code will be converted into JavaScript. Then that code we are going to execute in the browser. TypeScript cannot be executed in the browser directly. TypeScript code cannot be executed in the browser directly. TypeScript code should be converted into JavaScript. The process of converting TypeScript into JavaScript is called as transpilation. So whenever you execute ng saru command, it is performing that transpilation. Localhost colon 4200, we are able to access our Angular application. When I access this Angular application, by default, it is going to index.html. In the src directory, index.html available. In the index.html, we are invoking app component by using selector. Inside the app component TS file, there is nothing available. Inside the app component TS file, nothing is available. App component.html, here some logic is available. Remove this logic. Let me write one h1 Angular forms development. Angular forms development. I modified the component.html. Component.html is a presentation file. Whenever we invoke a component, that component template file will be executed. Whenever we invoke a component, that component template file will be executed. Component template file will be executed. Now here, I want to develop a form, and that form data I want to capture. For that, first we need to decide what are the fields we need in the form. And to work with the form, template driven form, we need to import forms module. I'm going to import forms module. Once we import the forms module, then we can use ng model directive to map the form data to template fields to component class. I'm importing forms module. Why? Because I want to use ng model directive. Okay. First, let me build one simple field. Let me take let me take one simple variable as name. Let me take one simple variable as name. Name colon string. Name colon string is equal to some empty value. I'm giving name colon string is equal to some empty value. So this is name colon string. I'm giving as empty value. This I want to represent as a field. I want to take one form. I want to take one form. Now a name or else I will take it as a book name. Book name colon string and book price colon number. Book price colon number I'm taking as undefined, or book price colon number is equal to some null value or else some 0. Okay, then I'm going to take it as author name colon string is equal to empty. Book name, book price, author name. Name, price, author name, or book name, book price, or book name, B name. You can take any name for the variable. B name, book ISBN, book author. Book author I'm taking. ISBN also I'm taking as a string. I'm taking empty. Book name, book ISBN, book author. I'm taking three variables here. These three variables I want to map to three fields in the form that we are going to write in the HTML file. So to represent a form, we are taking one tag called form tag. How we are going to represent this tag as a form? Form tag I'm taking. This form I want to represent as a Angular form. For this I'm giving book form is equal to ng form. It represents one form. It represents one form. Not displaying anything. Just I have taken form tag. Inside this form tag, I want to represent form fields. Inside this, I want to represent form fields. So first field I'm going to take as a book name. Input type is equal to text. Input type is equal to text. I'm going to take this as a text field. Input type is equal to as a text field I'm taking. Now see, book name is coming as one text field. Similar to this, I want to take book ISBN, book author. Book ISBN is one text field and book author as one text field. Okay, all these three are input fields only. Book name, book ISBN, book author. Everything is coming in the same line. Now I want to display them in the next line. For that, I will use break tag. Break tag to break the lines. Okay, every field should display in the new line. Every field should display in the new line. For that, we are going for break tag. And I want one button. Input type is equal to one button. Input type is equal to button. Value is equal to submit. For the button, I'm giving some text. Value is equal to submit. Book name, book ISBN, book author. Three text fields are displaying here. And there is a button. Currently, this is one dummy HTML form. There is nothing for this form. Input type is equal to text. Input type is equal to text. Input type is equal to text. Input type is equal to button. Currently, it is simple. It is one simple form which does not have any action. So in the component, there are three variables available. In the template, there are three fields available. Now, how to map the properties to fields? For that only, we are using data binding. How to use that data binding? By using ng model. By using ng model. Ng model is equal to, this is book name. So what is the meaning of this ng model is equal to b name? Whatever the data you enter in this book name text field, that data will be stored into this b name variable. Getting my point? And similarly, b ISBN, b author. Let's take this. ng model is equal to b name. Similarly, ng model, b ISBN, that is book ISBN. Similarly, it is book author. Now my form is binded to these variables. Properties are binded to elements. Properties are binded to elements. Now Angular form is available. There are three fields available in the form. These three fields are binded to three properties in the component class. Now let me write one simple function. Now here I'm going to write a function on submit click. On submit click, I'm taking one function. What is the purpose of this function? This function should be called whenever you submit the form. So there should be link between the button and the form. How we are going to establish the link between the button and the form? That's where we are going to use event binding. Click. Click is equal to call that function. What is the function? On submit click. Okay, whenever you click that button, on submit click function should be called. Whenever you click that button, on submit click function should be called. On submit click is a function. There is a button. Three fields available in the form. Three fields are mapped to three variables in the component class. And there is a button. Button is mapped to one function. Now inside this button, can we write a alert form submitted? Simple, just one alert message I'm writing, form submitted. Now click on submit. Are we getting the alert, guys? Are we getting the alert message? When you click on submit, it is printing form submitted. Alert form submitted. Can I print that form data? Alert book name. That means you observe really that form data automatically coming to this function or not. Two-way data binding is working or not, we can check this. Book name and book ISBN, book author. Now refresh this, enter some name for that. Book Angular, ISBN 001, author, something like this. I'm trying to write this. I'm trying to enter some data. Click on submit. Book name, book name, book name. So three times it is printing as book name only. So I think we need to change this. Book name, book ISBN, and book author. Book author. This dot B name, this dot B ISBN, this dot book author. Save this. Save this file. Now let's reload. Let's reload our project. Yes, enter some name, Angular, ISBN 001, author, some value. Click on submit, book name. Guys, whatever the data we entered, is that data coming or that data is not coming? Whatever the data that we entered, that data is coming or that data is not coming? The data is stored to the variable or the data is not stored to the variable? Come on, guys. Data is coming to the variable or data is not coming to the variable? Book author, book ISBN, the data is not coming. Can we see inspect? Can we see the console? Can we see the console? There is a error. There is a error. So how how I'm checking that error? How I'm checking that error? Here, if a ng model is used within a form tag, either the name attribute must be set or the form control must be defined as a standalone in the ng model options. In the ng model options, you need to set the name attribute or you need to set the ng model options attribute. Then only you can use ng model directive. Otherwise, you cannot use ng model directive. We are getting one error. Now, see here, I am thinking that my logic is correct. When I click on submit, that form field data I'm not getting. So I'm going to inspect. I'm going to check the console. When I open the developer tools console, it is saying that if a ng model is used within a form tag, either name attribute must be set or the form control must be defined as standalone in the ng model options. Okay, it is saying that whenever we use ng model tag, ng model directive in the form tag, you need to set the name. Okay, name is equal to, let me declare as a b name, that is a book name. Similarly for this also, let me set the name as BISBN. For this, let me set the name is equal to B author. book author. I'm setting the name attribute for this. Okay, let's try this time. Let's try this time. Let's try this time. Refresh, enter the book name. Enter the book name as some AWS, ISBN 002, book author, some value. Click on submit. Wow. Are we getting the book name as AWS? Okay. Are we getting the book ISBN 002? Are we getting the book author name? That means my fields data is mapped to my component class variables or not. My fields data is mapped to component class variables or not. Come on, guys. My fields data is mapped to component class variables or not. Fields data is mapped to component class variables or not. Understand? Are we able to capture them? Yes, we are able to capture them. Yes, we are able to capture them. Simply, we can write console.log this dot console.log of this dot book name. Okay, console.log of this dot book name. Similarly, console.log of this dot book ISBN console.log of this dot book author. Just I'm printing the data on the console. I'm printing the data on the console, and I will take one message colon string is equal to empty. Message colon string is equal to empty. On submit click, what I will do, this dot message is equal to this dot message is equal to form submitted. This dot message is equal to form submitted. That message value I want to display. Message value I want to display. By using interpolation, we can display that message. By using interpolation, we can display that message. Now, let us see. Here, my form is available. Let me enter some data in the form. Some AWS, ISBN, author. Let me do inspection. Let's do the console. Clear the console. Now, let me clear the console. Let me click on submit. When I click on submit, can you see AWS is printed? ISBN course, book name is printed, book ISBN is printed, and book author name is printed, and the success message also we got, that is form submitted. Console.log. So in the Java, we will use a system.out.println to print a message on the console. In the JavaScript or in the Angular, to print a message on the console, we will use a message called console.log. We are using a message called console.log. Console.log message we are using. Console.log message we are using. Are you getting my point? Are you guys getting my point? Console.log, and we are able to display success message also for the form, saying that form is submitted. Saying that form is submitted. Are you guys clear? Are you guys clear with this one? Now, can we try some validation for the form? Can we try some validation for the form? So let us do some validation for the form. Form book name input type is equal to input type is equal to text, ng model is equal to book name is equal to b name that we have given. Let me do some validation for one field first. Let's try this. If it is working, then we will implement for the other fields also. Okay, here I'm going to specify required is equal to required. I'm going to say that this field is a required field. What is the meaning of required is equal to required? What is the meaning of required is equal to required? That is a mandatory field. That is a mandatory field. And I'm going to specify min length is equal to 3. And I'm going to specify max length is equal to 8. Min length and max length I'm going to specify. Min length and max length I'm going to specify. For this, I'm going to give control 1 is equal to f name. This is a f name field. I'm giving some name for that. F name is the field name I'm giving as a control 1. Why I'm giving that is to do the validation. Okay. Here, what I will do is I'm going to write a validation by using span class is equal to some error. What is the name I have given? Control 1. Control 1. Now here I'm going to give ng if directive. Ng if is equal to control 1. If control 1 dot touched, if that field is touched and control 1 dot invalid, if any validation is failed, and control 1 dot required, errors dot required, if that validation is failed, then I want to print a message: book name cannot be empty. Book name cannot be empty. That is my validation. That is my validation. I want to write a validation for the book name field. I want to write a validation for book name field. No directive found with f name. Export as f name. 1 minute. No directive found with f name. Control 1 is equal to f name. Sorry, that is a b name, not f name. It is a book name. Book name. ng model is equal to book name. Input type is equal to text. Ng model is equal to book name. Name is equal to b name. It is required min length, max length, and control 1 that we are giving is equal to ng model. Let's bind it. Let's bind it. Ng serve. I'm trying to write the validation for the book name. Book name should not be empty. Book name is a control 1 here. It is failing. Invalid error. Property required comes from an index signature, so it must be accessed with required. It must be accessed with required. Required is equal to required. Is the spelling correct, guys? Required is equal to required. Let's check this error in the Google. Property comes with index signature, so it must be accessed within function. Let's clarify what is the issue. We are talking about a template driven form validation. You need to validate something. Let's say to ensure that field is required, call it first name. Note that from Angular version 13, it changed a bit from an old code like this. Okay, instead of required, this is the change that they have made. Required. Okay. Ng if b name. It is failed to compile bname dot errors. Guys, they're saying that from the version 13, they changed the style of the validation. Ng if first name dot errors required, first name is required. From this, they change it to this style. Angular IO form validations. Validating the template driven form input. Text class is equal to form control. Name is equal to ng model. Required min length. Ng if name dot invalid, name dot dirty, name dot touched, class alert, name dot errors required, name is required. So this is the example that they have given to perform validation on input field. Let me take this field. Input type is equal to text. Book name, I'm changing to the given style, guys. As per official documentation, I'm going to change this now. Input type is equal to text. ID is equal to p name. Name is equal to b name min length, and ng model, that is our b name, and b name is equal to ng model. For this, what is the validation that they are giving? If name dot invalid, name dot dirty, name dot touched, name dot errors, min length, max length, name cannot be Bob. Okay. Wherever name is available, we are going to consider that as a b name. B name dot invalid, b name dot dirty, b name dot touched, b name dot errors, b name dot errors, and b name dot errors. Save this. Failed to compile. Live example. In the stack blitz, they have given a live example. Form validation input. App.component template. Yeah. Live example is running, guys. Let us check it. What the mistake that we are doing. It is loading that application. Yes, this application is loaded. Okay. Enter this value, select this value, reset. This is reactive form. This is template driven form. Hero power, really smart. Then only submit button is enabled. Add new hero. Okay. Here they have given one example for that. App component.ts component selector template. In the component class, they don't have anything. In the modules, they imported forms module. Hero component template file is available. Div class from form group they have taken. Label name, input type is equal to text, ID name is equal to ng model. Ng model is equal to hero.name. Okay, ng model. Guys, let me try to use the logic which they have given in the live example. Here I will be giving as just a B name. Ng sir. I'm trying to rerun the application just with one empty text field. We'll see. Compiled successfully. Let's refresh. Angular Forms development. We just got one field. We just got one field. Now let's do this field. Add the fields one by one. Add the fields one by one as per the given live example. I have added one text field. Now for this text field, they have given several validations here. They have given several validations here. Form tag we have created. Div class cross validation error. Hero errors identity related form touched form dirty. Div class form group is there. In that form group, they are creating the form. Div class form group is available. Right. Now go to this. One text field is available in the form group. Label is available for that. I'm giving the label name as a book name. Then next for this text field, they're adding one validation. Ng if validations they're adding required validation, min length validation, and other validations are available. Let me take that validations. These are the validations that they are keeping for this name field. Okay, it is failing here. Unexpected closing tag for form. Input type is equal to button. Remove this button also. Div tag. Here input tag is closed. Inside that input there is one div. In that div is available. Two divs are closing here. Div class form group label. Then here one div is there. It started. Here div is completed. Remove everything. Template driven form ng model. Here I am giving it as a B name. These input fields I'm going to remove. Hero power div is available. Let me remove this. This is one form group. maybe version issue. Think whatever the version we are using, the version they are giving maybe not matching. I have taken just one field. Terminal, new terminal. Let's open our command prompt. cd space app6 ng sir. Okay, now validation is working. Name is required. Name must be at least 4 characters long. And if I take this, name must be at least 4 characters. Okay. If I enter the data, then only submit button is enabling. Complete the form to enable the submit button. Perfect. So with this one field we are able to add, guys. So name is required. Name must be at least 4 characters long. Name cannot be Bob. Forbidden name we have added for that. Forbidden name cannot be Bob. So this is one input field we have added. Similarly, we can add one more input field, guys. Name validation error is there. Identity revealed, form dot touched and form dot dirty. Okay. ng form is there. Hero form is the name that they have given. Okay, let's keep like that. Next, we need to add one more field for that. Div class form group, where this div is closing. This is the div for form group. This div closing here. This div closing here. Div form group. Okay. Let me repeat this. I will add book ISBN. Name is equal to ISBN. Name ID is equal to some ISBN. Name is equal to ISBN. Min length and forbidden name I'm not going to give for this. And ng model is equal to BISBN. ISBN is equal to ng model. Now ISBN dot invalid, ISBN dot dirty dot touched, ISBN dot required dot errors dot this. ISBN is required. ISBN is required. ISBN must be 4 characters long. And this is forbidden name. I'm not writing for that. Leave it. Okay. Now let's go to this form. Yeah. Name is coming. ISBN is coming. Name is required and ISBN is required. These messages I want to display with some styles. These messages I want to display with some styles. Okay. So what are the styles that they are using here? I'm taking the live example from Angular website, guys. So they have given the live code for that. So by using that live code, we are developing our form with a validation. Form template component. Form template component is available. Component.css. Let us see, did they add any CSS? Yeah, cross validation error, some CSS is available. Let me add that CSS in our app component.cs file. So they have given cross validation error CSS. I have added that CSS. Name is required. ISBN is required. If I enter the data, then only button is enabled. Otherwise, button is not getting enabled. Localhost colon 4200. Localhost colon 4200. So when the fields are empty, this submit button is disabled. It is coming as name is required. Styles I have added, still something it is expecting. Just adding the styles not working. Solid 5 pixel, it is not working there. Component.html, here this is just a HTML file, and component.ts. In the component hero component template, powers and hero some default values that they are storing. App component.ts, in the app component nothing available. Module.ts is not there. Styles.css. If you see in the global styles, they have added some styles. Let me go to global CSS file. Let me add some styles in the global styles.css. When I add some styles in the global styles.css, so the complete look got changed. The complete form look got changed. Template name is required. ISBN is required. When I enter some name for that field, it is saying that name must be at least 4 characters long. ISBN must be at least 4 characters long. When I enter the valid data, then only my button is enabled. Submit button and reset button. When I click reset, data is erased and my form does not have any data. Still few more styles that we need to identify what they are using here. In this, let me identify angular.json. In the angular.json, they are using styles. Fine, that is fine. Angular src assets and styles they are using. Bootstrap scripts also not available. Styles.css, so they used all these styles. Fine. Main.ts, nothing is there. Index.html, invoking the root component. Modules, in the modules they are importing the forms module, and component is not there. Hero component template, hero template component.html, hero component file. Here validation is available. Now Angular form validation that we got, but still guys, some styles are missing. Some styles are missing here. Maybe we need to install Bootstrap. Maybe we need to install Bootstrap, then it will work perfectly. Let me see how can we install Bootstrap. Installing Bootstrap in our project. Install Bootstrap in our project. I think might have given example where we can install Bootstrap. Steps to install Bootstrap. Okay. Let me try installing the Bootstrap in our project. Terminal. Compiled successfully. Yeah. npm install Bootstrap save. I'm installing Bootstrap in this project. And in this Slack page, directly the code also can be downloaded. They are getting the validation message clearly like this. That means they have installed some styles, guys. They installed some styles. Because of those styles, that message is coming very properly and the field is also getting highlighted. Let's try. Once we install the Bootstrap, ng serve. I'm trying to rerun our application. It started. Let's go here. No change. Name is required. ISBN is required. npm install jQuery. then install popper.js, then go to angular.json, styles, guys, these styles are becoming more worse now. Name is required. Name must be 4 characters long. Complete the form. Submit button. Template driven form. Name must be 4 characters long. ISBN must be 4 characters. Messages are coming, but the color is not changed. So some styles not working as expected. Let me check this. Reactive, that is different. Shared services.ts file. Directives. CSS, this CSS we used. I'm checking for that bootstrap link, guys. Maybe because of that bootstrap issue only, it is not loading that messages properly for us. Here they created app component, app component.ts. In the app component ts a template, form template, reactive form and all. And here there is a template, component template, component template.css, component.html is available. CSS issue. Index.html, main.ts, no change. Styles.css. And they are using some custom directives, and they're using alter ego directive.ts. Yeah, maybe the issue, they created custom directives, alter ego directive, forbidden name directive, that custom directives they are using is alter ego taken. There is a service class also. In that class there is a method. Yeah, they are using some custom directives, guys. Those things will not work for us. If you take out this URL outside, yeah, this is the form that they have developed. So reset. When we enter some data, name must be 4 characters long. Ego validating, hero power. Name must be 4 characters long. Click on submit, add new hero, click on reset. Yeah, this is the form that they have given. For this form, they are having validation, a beautiful validation message is coming. But for us, that beautiful message is not coming, guys. We are getting the message just with a font text like this. So if we fill up this form correctly with the correct data, complete the form, then we are getting submit button. So when we click on that submit button, what should happen? That logic we need to write. That style is not working for us. So I will figure out what else we need to do to make that style will work as expected. Okay, so when we click on this button type is equal to submit, and when we click on reset, what should happen? That we need to write that logic. Dev hidden hero form dot submitted. So when the form is submitted, what we need to do? What is the function that we need to call? That logic we need to write for that. So I will check what are the styles that we need to install to make sure the form works as expected like this. So mostly in the tomorrow session, I will update my notes. So what are the styles that we need to install to make our form also more beautiful, like how their form is displaying here. You can take this stack blitz URL. You can also check it. This is available for public users. This is available for public users. Yeah. Okay, good. Component.html errors name is required. Then here let me give class is equal to some text danger. Guys, I'm not good in the CSS, so it will take time for me. Yeah, I'm not that much good in the CSS, guys. Refresh. No, text danger also not working there. We need, yeah, name is required. Now it is coming. Name must be 4 characters long. Yes, class is equal to text danger. This is working, guys. Text danger, forbidden name. I'm not writing this forbidden name. Leave this. Mandatory validation and it is required. Class is equal to alert. ISBN is required. Text is equal to danger and text is equal to danger. Name must be 4 characters long. ISBN must be 4 characters long. If I touch it, it is saying that name is required. If I touch it, ISBN must be at least 4 characters long. Okay. Two fields are working for us. Then let's take another field also, that is author. Okay, form group author name, text ID is equal to author, name is equal to some author, and ng model book author. Author dot invalid, author dot dirty, author dot touched. Errors. So here I'm going to say that author name is required, and author name must be at least 4 characters long. Author name must be at least 4 characters long. Be author. Text author. Here also we need to give this as author. Fine. Author must be at least 4 characters long. If I remove this, it is saying that author name is required. When I enter the value correctly, book name, suppose for example Java, ISBN 001, author name Kathy, something like this. Complete the form. Now when I enter the correct data in the form, then submit button is enabling. If I remove any field data, my button is not available to submit. So if you enter the data correctly, then only that button is enabled for submit. When I click on reset, form data is getting reset. So when I type some incorrect data, it is saying that name must be at least 4 characters long. Here also ISBN must be at least 4 characters long. Author name must be 4 characters long. If I enter correct data, then button is enabled for submit. If I don't enter any particular field value, then button is in the disabled state. Disabled state. Got it? Yes, sir. So I will make my notes more clear, guys, how we need to set up this template driven form with the proper validation. And I will do some analysis. What are the CSS that we need to install? What are the CSS styles that we need to do to make our form more beautiful? So I don't think the form is looking beautiful. Yeah, here their form is looking more beautiful. If you see, their form is looking more beautiful with the proper validations and all. Okay, so when I click on submit, you have submitted your hero Dr. Diff, add a new hero. Like that we are getting their form and validation also coming with the proper CSS. So that style we need to implement. Okay, good. I have added 2 fields, 3 fields I have added with this form now. Now we need to add more beautiful CSS validations and we should be able to submit this form. How they are submitting the form here. Hero template.html. When you go for this hero form template.html, hidden hero form.submitted, and for that hero component.ts file will be available. Component.ts file is available. Hero component.html. Let's leave this. Yeah, this is the form. Complete the form to submit hero form.enable. If the form is invalid, disable the submit button. So when you click on button type is equal button, click hero form.reset form, add new hero. When we click on add new hero, if hero form.submitted, you have submitted your hero, and hero name dot form dot value name they are displaying, and they are giving a button to add one more value. So that is the last value that they are displaying before closing that form. Reset. Complete the button, complete the form to submit. Here you have submitted this hero form dot value dot b name. Good. Now let's refresh, enter some data, click on submit. Template driven form, console output, inspect console. Yep, go back, clear this, enter some data, click on submit. When we click on submit, we are not getting anything, but they are getting some value. When the form is submitted, you have submitted your form. Then just print one more button, reset form, add new book. I just want to add the new book for that. No, it is not working here. Form group name is available. For the name, we have 2 validations, and form group ISBN. For ISBN also we have 2 validations. Form author, for author we have 2 validations. Button hero form dot submit button, div class ng form. If ng form is submitted, you have submitted your form, displaying one button. This is not displaying, guys. Leave this. Yeah, yeah, CSS not good, looking good. Form CSS not looking good. I will update that, guys. So I will see how it is. We can correct that. Okay. Yeah. Text as busy danger. text as busy danger ant. Guys, let me try this. Let's go. Yeah, it is coming. It is not looking good, guys. This validation message. I think this is better. ISBN must be at least 4 characters. When I give busy danger, it is giving more odd message. Just danger is fine. When I just touch that field, the validation is coming. When I just touch that field, the validation is coming. Okay. Fine. Guys, in the given Angular nodes, I have given the steps to create a very simple form. So you guys can try with that. Presentation logic and form. First name is required. Last name is required. I have given a simple form, template driven form I have given in our nodes. Template driven forms approach I have given. Create the new application. Write these CSS properties. Write the CSS properties and do this. Let me try with our nodes, whatever I have given. Instead of this, let me remove this HTML component. Let me follow whatever I have given in the nodes here. CSS styles.css in the global CSS. We are adding this and import the forms module that is done. Declare properties in the app component is submit function. Let me go to app component. Okay. Presentation logic in the app component. Let's run this. First name is required. Last name is required. Yeah, comment is required. First name, last name, comment, click on submit button. When I click on submit button, source console. Yes, whatever the data that we entered, that data is coming. So in our notes, whatever the form I have given, that form is working as expected. But here also the styles are not looking good, guys. In the class notes that I have given one example on template driven approach with the form validations. So first step, create the Angular application, then right below styles in our global styles file, CSS styles.css, then import forms module in the app module. Here I have written one function whenever we submit the form, that form data printing on the console. And in the template file, one presentation logic is available. First name, last name, and the comment section is available. Here also, whenever you enter form data, then only button will enable, otherwise button is disabled. If you enter the proper data in that field, then that becoming blue color. If you don't enter that data, the message is coming as first name is required, last name. So if you don't enter the data correctly, if you don't enter and touch the field, leave it, it is coming as last name is required. Here also, if you don't enter, it is coming as comment is required. So once we enter all the data, then only our button is enabled. If I remove the data, button is disabled. Okay, so in the notes that example is available. So based on this code, you can try with Angular template driven. I will also come up with one more example. I will try some CSS. If I get anything in the Google, I will try to get those CSS to display the form with more beautiful. Got it? Yeah, in the notes that example is there. In the notes, whatever it is available, that is working. Yeah, guys, I'm not that much good in the CSS, so changing the styles width and all, I'm not comfortable with that. Somebody is saying to change that form control some value, but yeah, you can try, sir. If you try and if you are able to do those CSS, please send me that template file. I will update that in the tomorrow session. Okay. styles.css, invalid touched container, form control W50. Huh? Yeah, you change that, man. In the class notes, it is available. You change that and send me the updated file. I will use that. Class form class form control with 50. Yeah, when I give width 50, it reduced that size. And what is the another change? In the first div, use class as a container. Huh? Class is equal to form group and container. Mm, no change, sir. If I give 50, that size reduce, that is good somewhat. When I enter this name and when I enter this name, then it is working. The button is enabled when I enter the data correctly. In form tag as MX Auto. In the form tag MX Auto. What is that MX Auto one? Okay, it came to center of the page. Now we got some look. First name. Why there is a difference length in the first name and last name? First name field available. Form group container. Here I have given container. Okay. Here also I will give container. Right. For the button, we need to adjust something. Button is attached to that field, man. I want to make it center. That button, I want to make it center. Which class I need to use, guys? MX Auto. Okay. Class is MX Auto. No, it's not coming to center. MX Auto is not working for the button class. MX or MI-2. MI-2 somewhat it is adjusted. MI-4. Yeah, some gap came. Okay. Now template driven forms with validation. This also class is equal to MX Auto. For H1 it is not applying. Leave it. Text center. Text align is equal to center. For H1 text align is equal to center. Okay. Guys, I'm not. So it is a time waste process for me. Text align. Guys, the example is there in the notes now. So please correct that example and give me so that I will update it. Text align Text align is center. It is failed. Unexpected character 34. Remove this. Remove this. This is fine. Okay, good. Anybody who is expert in CSS, please make that change and give me that file so that I will use that file. Whatever that I have, I will update that in the class notes. Okay. Template file, I will update this. Yeah. Anybody who is expert, then you please correct it and give me the updated file. Send that updated file to me. I will show that in the tomorrow's class. Okay. So guys, based on the example available in the notes, can you practice template driven form along with validation? Validation is also working for this. So if you enter the data correctly, that field is becoming green color. If you enter invalid text, or if you don't enter the text, the validation message is coming and the field is becoming red also. If I enter the comment value, then it is saying that as valid input. If I don't enter that value, field is becoming reddish and the message is also coming. And the button is in the disabled state. When I enter the data, then only my button is enabling for submit. If I don't enter the data, button is disabled. It's good. So in the class notes, whatever the example is available, that example is working as expected. Can you practice with that? Can you practice with that? Yeah. So whatever the form that I opened in my browser now, this is the same form which is available in the class notes. This is the same form which is available in the class notes. Okay, please try that, guys. So tomorrow I will show you the updated form for that. The person who is telling the CSS changes, please man, do those changes and send the latest file to me. I will display that file in the tomorrow session. So with this, we understood how we can develop a simple template driven form. For the template driven form, we are using ng model. Ng model we are using to achieve two-way data binding. ng model we are using to achieve two-way data binding. Tomorrow I will show you one more template driven form and one reactive form also. Okay, thank you guys. Good night. We'll see you in the tomorrow's class. Yep, bye bye.
Audio Jungle.